we go. Interneting is hard, and we're live.
Yes, we are.
I believe so. I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up.
I have an insanely large afro.
I'm waiting for the stream to mustard. Lols.
Oh, lols.
Lols, that was terrible. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll that intro, and we'll just go ahead and get right into it because I think we're a little bit out of practice because it was weeks before the drunk stream when we did an actual stream.
I know, we got to go back to like actual tech talk now.
Oh, weird. All right, rolling that intro.
Do it. Welcome to Tech Talk, where JayzTwoCents and Jerry, aka Barnacles, actually talk about tech this time. For real.
It's still going.
Oh, is it really?
There, now it's over.
I can never time it right. Never.
I've got it really dark and dim in this room right now because my eyes are killing me. I don't look at the monitor as much as I used to back when I worked a full-time daytime job. So my eyes now
still just as I think you're still just hungover from when you were up here.
I wasn't hungover when I was up there.
Oh, lies, Jay, lies. You were so hungover.
You know the truth. Anyway.
Yeah, Jay doesn't get hungover because he's got that child belly now.
Yeah, so we have some topics. We have 3 topics we'll talk about today. Some of them will probably incite some discussion of some sort.
Whoa, just hold your horses there. We need to let everybody know that you actually created the document this time. So if you guys enjoy the show and the topics, it's on Jay. If you don't, you troll him, okay?
I did, but at the same time, all I did was fill in, like, take your document and delete your stuff and fill in my words in there. So it was already formatted.
I just stole Linus's document and filled it in and put my stuff in there. So we've all stolen from somebody, Jay.
Actually, who makes the document for Linus? Who is it?
Is it Brandon that makes the document?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I don't remember who. I thought it was Brandon that did it.
I don't know. I don't know the names of those guys over there at LMG. Shoot. I still do everything myself.
Yeah, I know, me too, man. Why are we so stupid?
Because I can't afford to pay people.
I know. I keep telling myself that too. But I according to Social Blade, I'm a millionaire though, Jay. So I should be able to afford like a small office building.
According to Social Blade, you either make enough to buy a Starbucks or enough to buy a small island. You just don't know.
I know. I love how they just put that estimate in there. It's like we estimate that he makes between $0 and $3 million. I bet you it's in between there somewhere.
then they're always on the mark. When the mark is the size of Texas. Anyway, go ahead and tweet out that stream info there, guys. I forgot how to do that. I forgot to do that.
Can you guys twatter our stream out there on the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Pinterest and the Instagram and the 4chan and the Reddit? I mean,
we are twattering. We're on the twatter right now.
Yeah, twatter us. Send out our link. We need people to watch us to validate our lives. Isn't that right?
Or I'm just going to sit here and make stupid faces at the camera for an hour.
Has anybody in the chat noticed your new fancy haircut yet? Oh, look at that. Oh, somebody said it looks like I need a haircut. They still didn't make me. Come on, guys. Jay looks like a cue ball now. Just look at him. Look at Jay's Hardware.
Jay's Hardware. Paul's 2 cents.
Paul's 2 cents over there.
I wanted to do an intro where I was pretending to be Paul's Hardware. But the problem is that I don't have a pair of glasses that look anything like his. And I don't have a soul patch. I shaved that off a long time ago.
Don't you have a dollar store nearby? And a crayon? Just kidding.
I know, right? I'll go cut some hair off the cat and just tape it to my chin.
That could work. Totally.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So 9 to 5 Mac is probably one of the most, well, obviously it's all about Apple products and stuff, right? So for years now, how many years has it been, Jerry, that Apple and Samsung have been in they've been a feuding?
Well, put it this way, I was still working at Microsoft when the feud started, so...
Oh, it was long before that.
Yeah, no, I know, but it was like, that was like a common thing talked about at Microsoft while we were working there. It'd be like, haha, Apple's getting their dingleberries shafted. That didn't make any sense, but yeah.
It goes back to like when the first Galaxy phone came out.
Oh, you mean as far as them just being in some kind of legal ordeal, not specifically this one.
Right. Well, so there were a couple patents that, I don't remember what year it actually started. I think it was like 2009 or something.
Like, wasn't one of them like the rounding of the edges of a cell phone?
Exactly.
Like, it was like they patented a circle.
Yeah, pretty much. Geometry was patented by Apple.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was like the vaguest patent ever. I think the one that we used to laugh about the most at Microsoft was the one where it's like a touch screen with what was it? It had something to do with the precise dimensions of the touchscreen, like width versus height ratio, but it had nothing to do with the actual technology of the touchscreen or the technology behind it or anything. It was just literally a patent for a touchable surface that was within a certain dimension.
Well, what's funny is that Apple basically won two patents that awarded them over $1 billion in damages, and one was that Samsung's UI was too similar in features to iOS. And then the other one was the physical appearance between the Galaxy and the iPhone were too similar. I love.
Not. They're really not.
Well, other than there's a dedicated like physical home button and it has a front-facing camera and round edges, there wasn't really anything else to say.
But nobody would mistake it because the round edges aren't even the same type of round edges. Like the overall shape is not the same.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if they're out there measuring radiuses and stuff for legal matters. But I love how 9to5Mac is almost trolling in their own title. They're like, rough date set for round 5 of Apple versus Samsung patent trial to maybe finalize damages. So the reason why they say maybe is because, and I have to go to my notes for this because there's just so much information on this. All right. First of all, Samsung was found to be in violation of of patents on 5 devices. And so they were awarded over $1 billion in damages. That was round 1. They went to court. Apple sued Samsung. Apple won. And you remember the joke was that Samsung was going to bring like a dump truck full of wrapped nickels as their payment?
Yeah. Just dump trucks full of pennies and just fill up their parking lot.
Right. So anyway, of course, Samsung appeals that, obviously. But Judge Koh, K-O-H, whatever, I don't know. I guess that's the...
Koh sounds good. Let's just go Koh.
So he vacated $450 million of that award and ordered a retrial to determine a revised sum. So basically this judge says, whoa. Listen up. I don't think that number makes a whole lot of sense. So I'm going to knock $450 million right off the top of that apple, and we're going to go back to trial and see whether or not the remaining amount makes a whole lot of sense. So that's round number 2, okay?
Wait a second. So the judge agreed on settlement on the grounds that they were going to retry it.
Well,
even though they still had to pay half of it.
It's less than half, but still.
That's ridiculous. Like, these judges have to be paid by these companies. I swear there's got to be, like, some payment going on there.
So apparently round 3 this went to a jury trial. Okay, and they were keeping this out of whatever litigation they were in. It went to a jury trial where Apple was awarded a lesser sum of $290 million. So the jury went. No, Apple was infringed upon, but $450 million sounds like a lot. So we're going to reduce that settlement to $290 million.
Hey, I have to interject here really quick. You said a jury trial, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't a jury require a group of your peers? How is Samsung able to find a group of their peers?
Ooh.
Like, because everybody had iPhones. Like, oh, burn! That's my flamethrower.
That's the worst shotgun sound I've ever heard. Sorry.
I know, right? Oh my God.
Okay, so anyway, it went to a jury trial, and again, Apple was awarded damages, but this time it was a reduced settlement a reduced damages to $290 million. So over $1 billion down to $290 million now. So, of course, Samsung appeals. Samsung never got a chance to actually appeal any of this because the judges kept stepping in and going, no, wait a minute here. Because remember, the judge, I don't know if a lot of people know this, a judge can take a jury decision and throw it out. A judge can do it if he feels that there was some sort of a bias or information was taken into account that was deemed, something you can't take into account. So
it's got to be labeled like a mistrial, right?
It can be, but not necessarily a mistrial. A judge can't see. This is kind of off topic a little bit here, but somebody can be found guilty of murder, and if the judge feels that the jury was not taking proper evidence into account, or he feels like, wait a minute, this isn't right, this doesn't add up. At least you couldn't have come to this conclusion based on the evidence presented to the court. He can throw out this decision and force another trial, not necessarily a mistrial. So
I did not know that.
It's very rare, but it has happened.
The more you know.
So the judges kept intervening in this, these settlements here. So Samsung finally goes, okay, cool. We were found, to be liable for $200 million in damages. So Samsung appeals it, and guess what? Round 4, the U.S. Appeals Court ruled that Samsung did indeed copy iOS features, but it should not have been penalized for copying the general look of the iPhone, and damages should be reduced even further. So that leads us to round 5, taking place in March, April-ish of next year, where it's going back to appeals court, where they're going to be found. They're not retrialing, but what they're going to do is they're going to reassess damages. So it's going to be less than 200 million because they're throwing out that physical appearance claim. So I don't know. This has been like the lawsuit that won't fucking die.
So how does this work? So if they award him $1 billion, then it gets cut down to 450 million, and Samsung pays it, and then they go back and do a trial again and reduce it to 290 million. Does that mean that Samsung has to like give money back basically, or
no? Samsung never had to pay because Samsung doesn't have to pay until at least it works its way up to the U.S. Supreme or U.S. Appeals Court.
Okay, so basically when it's down to like $4 and a foot long, that's when they'll finally pay up.
And a cookie.
Okay, this is how the legal system works here in the United States. For those of you that are watching our show abroad, if you have enough money to just keep continually suing somebody, you basically just sue them until they run out of money or until the settlement is down to 450 in a foot long.
450. It won't even get you a foot long.
450. Foot long.
No, but I mean that's the way it works in the legal system, though. A lot of these companies suing other companies for damages, they'll have an appeal ready to go, whether they think they're going to win or lose. They'll have it ready to go, and they'll file the appeal on the same day that the judgment is entered. That way they don't have to pay the damages. Because when you pay damages, you have whatever the judge says, you have 30 days, 90 days, 120 days, whatever, to pay the damage.
Right.
But during that time, you can file for the appeal, and the damages go on hold until you found whether or not you are competent or incompetent for those particular damages. So Samsung just sat back and watched the number get reduced before they even filed the appeal, which is hilarious.
Yeah, so that makes no sense to me at all. But hey, way to go, Apple.
But I mean, what is? I'm just wondering how many. So how can all of this keep happening? Like, how can it just keep changing where the judges are like, no? Because I feel like you have one judge that might have an iPhone and another judge that has a Samsung, right? Does that maybe have a little bit of a conflict of interest?
One judge who has both his daughters work at Apple. The other judge, both of his daughters don't work for Samsung because they were fired because they lost $1 billion.
Right. Because I mean, obviously, like they're gonna try and hold.
Like Samsung, guys. I'm just ripping on shit just for fun. Samsung's actually a great company.
Jerry's.
I'm sitting in front of 3 Samsung monitors right now, like saying this, like with a straight face. No, Samsung makes like the best screens there are. I love them.
Is there a check in the mail right now?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, they said if I said that clearly and people understood,
I'm just
that
checking.
they would send me a check for $400,000 and a Lamborghini.
But you know how they'll try and find venues for a lawsuit like this where they feel that the jury pool is going to be in their favor, right?
Yeah, the thing I really don't understand about this is there should be no appealability here. Like, I think it's bullshit that, like, okay, they went through the jury trial, the judge agreed with whatever was said, he modified the payment, everything was agreed on, boom, and then they're in court again with a different judge, in court again with a different judge. That makes no sense. That's like, that just basically means that you can just keep suing and resuing until you find the judge that basically, like, agrees with you. And then the other company's just going to do the same shit. So you're basically going to just go back and forth and exhaust all of your resources.
But that's how it works in our judicial system. You start out in the lower courts because you can't go straight to the U.S. Supreme Court with a lawsuit or a crime. So you start out in the lower courts, your county Supreme Court or whatever. Let's say you're found guilty of manslaughter because of a car accident or something, right? Yeah. And then you don't like the decision, you can appeal, and it goes to the next higher court, and it goes all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. They're the final decision. The U.S. Supreme Court also houses the appeals court, and so you have the U.S. Superior Court of Appeals or whatever it's called. They make the final decision, but they have found Apple they've awarded Apple damages. It's just now they're trying to figure out what the right damages are.
I was so confused, Jay. I so confused.
I know, right?
I so confused.
This is why I could never be a lawyer, because I would be too quick to point out how I'd be like, you know what, Judge Cohn, you're a fucking moron. And then I'd be in contempt.
A lawyer requires you to not know anything about the law. like I think if you were able to comprehend the entire law, you couldn't be a lawyer, because you'd probably be dead from jumping out of a window.
But remember, the law is all about wide interpretations of the law as well, including the judge. The judge is allowed to have a personal interpretation of said law as well.
Well, that's what makes a lawyer good, right? It's not how he knows the law or how he follows the law; it's how he manipulates the law, right? Because I mean, you're not a good lawyer. If you're
no.
like, if you're defending Charles Manson and you're like, yeah, the fucker killed a bunch of people and he's a dipshit. Oh God, guilty. Fuck, I lost another one. No, that would be a very good lawyer. You got to be the person that's like,
here,
he was mentally damaged as a child, and you know, a priest or a teacher touched him wrong.
I'm curious. I'm curious if we have any law professionals, and by law professional I mean a paralegal, a lawyer, or whatever, or you know, in the chat. But what makes a good defense lawyer is not your ability to know the law or bend the law. It's your ability to sway someone's decision based on their perspective of said law that was violated or crime that was committed. So Manson, right? He was abused as a child, you know, he was molested, he was whatever. So he had no choice, he was damaged. You're trying to pay like the sympathy card with the jury to get not them off, but a lesser sentence. Because a lot of times defense lawyers will go into, you know, into the trial, not to try and get them off, but to keep them from getting the death penalty. That's like the only end game for them.
Right.
So what makes a really good damages lawyer and stuff is someone who's not being able to cut and dry say, we have damages here. It's proving the damages, because right, it's all hypothetical damage.
All I can think of right now is the Chewbacca defense from South Park,
which is
you haven't seen that. It's like
I never watched South Park.
Oh my God, it's like the O.J. Simpson trial. You know, with the glove doesn't fit, so you must quit. Yeah. Except for it's like you know, Chewie couldn't be from Endor because he's not a Ewok, basically. So you must have quit. And he goes through and he just confuses the shit out of all the jurors until they finally give him his way.
Yep. Well, that's what lawyers do. They just confuse the shit out of everyone.
Well, they use a lot of confusing words. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on from that. You know, what's funny is when I first started my channel back in 2012, one of the first Tech Talks that was ever done included this lawsuit. That was 87 episodes ago.
Wow.
And it's not like we've been doing this every single week in between. I mean, come on.
No. Samsung and Apple are just going to eternally sue each other until one of the companies gets bought by the other. Hint, Apple's going to buy Samsung.
What's hilarious about that is they continue to do business with each other the entire time in between.
No, that's actually something I noticed too when I worked at Microsoft. Is it's like Apple used to buy, like they were our biggest customer of the Azure platform, basically Microsoft's cloud services, right? To run iCloud and to run the store and all that stuff. Those were all running off Microsoft back-end servers. I mean, I don't know if they still are today, but when those services started, they were using Azure horsepower to do it. And I just thought it was funny that Microsoft was constantly locked in a legal struggle with Apple over a ton of things, yet they were also our best customer for our enterprise services.
I have to answer a very important question. This is a very pressing question in the chat. Drew Mann asked if I got a haircut. It's very important that you understand, I did not get a haircut. My hair simply grew back in my head. And here's your sign. Just...
Mind blown.
Oh, you know the here's your sign jokes?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Jeff Foxworthy? Oh, God. It's great. Yeah.
Basically, Jeff Foxworthy has... If you guys have never heard of Jeff Foxworthy, he's like a southern comedian. He does all redneck type jokes. And he's got this stand-up bit where he feels like stupid people should have to wear a sign around their neck that says I'm stupid so that you know who to avoid in life. And usually he goes through one of these, like, you know, what was it? Like the guy's got a flat tire on the side of the road and dude walks up and goes, "Get a flat?" And he goes, "Nope, the other three done swelled up on me. Here's your sign." So, anyway, ask you if I got a haircut. Come on, man. You're putting that sign around your neck, okay?
Hey, somebody in chat said that we need a counter for how many times Barnacle says I used to work at Microsoft.
Oh, jeez.
We should do that. We should do that on a Tech Talk. We should have a counter down there. Figure out a way for you to just rig it to a button so every time I say it, you can just click it.
It's kind of like the videos, you know, everything wrong with, you know, like everything wrong with Marvel or whatever, and it's got a little counter of all the errors.
It'll be like my comfortable remix. You can actually do the I used to work at Microsoft remix. Somebody get on.
No. Yeah, you know what? They corrected in chat, and I thought that Jeff Foxworthy was wrong. It's Bill Engvall, and I should know that because I went to see Bill Engvall.
Yeah, that's right. Because he was. I just thought it was Jeff Foxworthy because they used to go together.
Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. No, Jeff Foxworthy has the "you might be a redneck" if you mow the lawn and find a car, you might be a redneck.
There you go.
If you've got a transmission in the bathtub, you might be a redneck. All right, moving on. We all like fast internet. Jerry, do you like fast internet?
I absolutely adore fast internet.
You would, because you've got 3 mediocre internets to get one satisfactory internet.
I have 3 poor ass internets to get to slightly less poor ass internet.
All right, so we're all I think most of us are waiting for gigabit. If you live in an area that's got Google Fiber or gigabit, then, well, fuck you, seriously. Otherwise, I'm happy that I have 300 gigabit or 300 gigabit. Yeah, 300.
Shut your dirty whore mouth, Jay.
I've got 300 megabit, and I get 350 on average down. Like Time Warner Cable gives me a little bit extra, which is nice. But the United States has a city now that is getting 10 gigabit. That's 10 times the speed of Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Now what? Now you already know the answer there, Jerry. But if you hadn't read the doc already, what city would you think in the United States is rolling out 10 gigabit?
Oh, let's see. I'd probably go for like Seattle, maybe New York.
Let's pick a state. Let's start at the state level first.
I'd probably think at the state level, probably California would probably be the first to get it.
Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously,
but no, hold
it's
on.
not.
Let's flip that around. What do you think the last state to get it would be?
North Carolina?
I was thinking the same thing.
Because
so tell us, which state got 10 gigabit?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina's got
the fastest internet in the United States.
They got 10
North Carolina.
They got 10 gigabit and two teeth.
They sell 3 computers a year on Craigslist in North Carolina, and they have 10 gigabit internet.
And they're like 486s. I know, right? No,
if you're a fan from North Carolina, you better be laughing your ass off right now. That's all I gotta say, because you got 10 gigabit going into your tool shed.
Well, it's rolling out in a tiny city. That's the thing. I'm curious if anyone is from this city. And if you are from this city and you're in chat right now, go ahead and leave. Seriously, just leave. Because
they probably can't, because their internet's so fast, it's just always connected to everything instantaneously. So there is no leaving.
It's being beamed into their eye sockets.
Yeah, you probably can't even turn it off. It's like so fast at that point, if you pull the power plug on the router, it'll explode.
All right, so the city is Salisbury, North Carolina.
Salisbury. Has anybody heard of, other than if you live there, has anybody heard of Salisbury, North Carolina? It's like not even the capital.
It's a state as far as I'm concerned. Salisbury State.
Salisbury State, North Carolina has the first 10 gigabit internet.
So the internet company there that's offering this 10 gigabit is called Fibrant. So,
you know what they don't tell you, though, is it's 10 megabit to like the hub on the, or 10 gigabit to the hub on the street, and then after that, it's like DSL.
I know, right? No, I'm. If anyone has Fibrant, can you chime in and chat? And Jerry, keep an eye on chat. Let us know if they have data caps, because I'm curious. It's like
you have to have a data cap. Are you fucking kidding me? 10 gigabit, you can download the whole internet every day.
Oh man! But okay, so anyway, the city has it has 34,000 residents in there. So, we were talking about this before the stream. And you said, why did they roll it out to such like a podunk, like who knows?
Oh my God, Chat Rizwan, he's like, fuck this shit, I'm moving to North Carolina. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Oh my God.
I'm curious if okay, so we talked about why it was being rolled out to such a small city, but obviously there's not a lot of people there. Saturation, issues. But anyway, it's being rolled out actually to the Catawba College is where it's being rolled out to first, and it's being offered to their IT lab as well as like all of the students on campus are being given access to this 10 gigabit. But then it is rolling out to other campuses, and then it's going to go to residents. So it's not a residential service yet.
Hey, just to put things into perspective, when I worked for Microsoft, here, tick the counter.
Ding, that's 2.
So
two since we started counting.
We had a twin, OC45 back end connection. Mm-hmm. And under speed test, we could not hit 10 gigabit a second.
At Microsoft.
Like we're talking a campus of like 26,000 people on the backbone internet connection that we had. And
but
now
maybe if everyone got offline, you could.
Yeah, so if everybody got offline, it might be faster. But still, the people in Salisbury, North Carolina have faster internet than I did basically sitting on the trunk line at Microsoft.
Well, yeah. So this college campus has 1,200 students. 1,200. You know the amount of torrenting that's going to be happening.
That's going to be like the torrent hub. Like that, they might as well just call that college the Pirate Bay EDU.
Yeah,
like that's what it's going to be.
But here's the thing though. They made a note in this article, and I forgot to show the pretty picture of. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Yeah. So I broke this. I broke it.
I'm sorry,
anyway.
Kilt's mom says because rednecks need faster internet for Googling new parts to fix their Fords and lift kits.
There you go.
I'm sorry, that's funny right there. Oh.
So I had a scene set up to show the monitor over there, and it stopped working. All right, whatever. It just was a picture of fiber. Anyway,
XSplit, bro.
But here's the thing. It's not XSplit. It's OBS I'm using.
Well, there's your problem right there. Free software.
So Fibrant is using a point-to-point. Fibrant is using a point-to-point Ethernet service, but they're going to be rolling out next-gen PON2. Do you know what this is? NG-PON2?
I have no idea. Never even heard it.
Apparently, it's a backbone that's supposed to be able to support speeds between 40 and 80 gigabit. See what happened?
We're talking about North Carolina, and now we're like gigabit.
We're going to get 40 to 80 gigabits.
Gigabits.
Anyway. Man, imagine the Minecraft server you could host.
It'd be epic performance. That's the funny thing is, just think about it. Like, nothing in your computer except for the RAM itself is capable of that throughput.
Yeah, most people are on gigabit connections, or maybe a dual gigabit, which would give them two.
Your hard drive would literally be like your limiting factor.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's routers would.
Yeah, I mean, if you had like a high-end SSD, then it wouldn't be. But like, think about it. If you had a physical spinning media hard drive, which would still be considered pretty fast. I mean, it's local media, right? It's not going over the internet. Your internet connection, it'd be faster to download the file to memory than it would be to get it from the hard drive.
Yeah.
In some cases, if you got the full bandwidth, but we all know that depending on where you go on the internet, you're not going to get that 10 gigabits everywhere.
Well, yeah, but I mean, obviously, what are the other bottlenecks? Let's list off the bottlenecks, right? Your modem / router, and your NIC card inside your desktop or your laptop.
Yeah.
So but this isn't a residential service, and we were getting ahead of ourselves. Obviously, this is going to a campus, but that's the future. The future obviously holds faster speeds for everyone, including residents, I would hope.
You know what I'd do if I was at a college that had the 10 gigabit internet? I would set up a high-powered wireless access point and literally sell that internet connection to like everybody across the street from the campus.
And how long before you're arrested for child pornography charges?
Well, I would use a service like Tor, which actually isn't secure anymore. Never mind. Yeah, no, that's a bad idea, Jay.
You have not thought this through.
Don't do that. If you're in North Carolina at college, do not sell internet connections to people across the street, especially if they have a van in their yard that says free candy or Subway posters up. See what I did there?
Free Subway.
Free Subway. If it says free Subway on the side of the van, you run. Do
you think Jared had a van that said free Subway on the side?
I'm sure he did. I'm actually fairly positive it was a bus because there wasn't enough room in the van.
Hey, we got the free Subway. Come on, my van.
Subway, just hop inside. I'll make you a 6-inch bologna sandwich.
I'm going to give you a 6-inch. A sub? Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We're already getting off the rails here.
This is what happens.
Off the rails. That's how I like it. Anyway, I don't even know what I would do with 10 gigabit. I mean, I've got 300 here, and I can download... I downloaded Grand Theft Auto 5 on my laptop before I went up to your place by hooking it up to the wired, and I downloaded the Grand Theft Auto 5 in, 6 minutes.
Dude, with 10 gigabit, you could literally just download your entire Steam library in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, but isn't that that's the other flip side of it, too, is you're only going to get the speed of what you're connecting to is serving?
Exactly. And how many services will actually give out 10 gigabit worth of bandwidth on the receiving end? I mean, because everything's throttled. When you connect to a website and you download the website and things like that, I mean, the service itself is throttling you. Even if that bandwidth is available, it's not going to just give it to you.
So someone's saying Minneapolis, Minnesota had 10 gigabit residential for over a year now, 400 a month. I don't know. I'm calling shenanigans on that because the whole point of this article was the first city to offer the 10 gigabit internet service. So,
I think he meant 10 megabit, 10 kilobit.
10K?
It was 10K.
You do that very well.
I know, I did that for years, dude. When you hear that sound 400 million times in your youth, it's like burned into your brain. I could probably recite the entire sound of a 56K baud connection by like heart.
See, I'm seeing more people say that they've got 10 gigabit, but they said they were on campus and their switches are limited to 300 megabit. But I'm wondering if that's a 300, if that's a 10 gigabit intranet and not the internet.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that it's 10 gig to the college. Like the trunk line to the college is 10 gigabit. Because, dude, they couldn't do that. If they had all those students, oh my God, that would be, they need way more than that.
Yeah. You're not going to be using Fios to supply a campus.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna have 100 gigabit lines like coming into the college, like 5 of them. That shit's expensive.
Duck, someone named Duck in chat says, Jesus, 10 gigabit per second is not meant for people who live alone in their house. Well, you don't watch enough porn, sir.
That's true. That's true. Now they got, what is it, 4K 60 frames per second porn? That's got to be a thing now, right? Or maybe 120 frames per second 5K porn for the Apple people that got that Apple Retina display that's like 5K.
That's a little bit of a turnoff. I mean,
what about like 8K?
That much detail?
There's like 8K televisions now. Did you see that? Like they're stupid expensive. They're like over $10,000. They actually created 8K TVs.
Yeah, Sharp had an 8K TV. Ironic name, right? So Sharp had an 8K TV,
right?
In 2013 when everyone else was debuting their 4K. But really, I failed to see any improvement at the 80-inch screen that they were showing of 8K versus the Sony's 4K right next to it.
What I think makes a cool company is when you go create a television that's capable of displaying shit that there isn't even a camera for yet. Like, is that like the chicken before the egg or what?
Yeah.
Like, check out our 8K television over here. Oh, what's the best camera on earth right now? 4K.
Okay. Well, I was just sent a text saying that Minneapolis residents to get 10 gigabit fiber for $400 a month.
Wait. So in Minneapolis? Like, that's like North Carolina 2.0. I've been to Minneapolis.
Minnesota?
It's cold as hell. I walked to the super mall, like freezing my dingleberries off.
How is that North Carolina 2.0? Because they say, don't you know?
No, they don't say don't. Do they say don't you know there? I don't remember anybody
know.
having any real accent when I was there.
But the article I was linked to
watch a football game, and I was drunk most of the time when I got off the plane. I'll be honest.
Okay, the article I was linked to is dated December 24th, 2014, so Christmas Eve, and it says that Minneapolis is to get 10 gigabit fiber. So if they've already gotten it, then good. But then again, the person in chat who's like, we've already had it for like a year, your sense of time is a bit off, sir, because it couldn't have been more than 9 months at this point. But anyway,
this means this article is a lie.
But it's a lie. That article's a lie. It's the consumerist. But that article is a lie if that's the case, because they're talking about it being the first city in the United States to get 10 gigabit, and this is going to a campus, and the one in Minneapolis is going to residents.
Let me ask this.
No, here's the thing that's really going to make you mad. They also offer a single gigabit access for $65 a month.
Wait, $65 a month for a gigabit?
Your face melted when I said that.
Dude, I pay $157 a month for basically 100 megabit down and like 27 up. I'd pay $400 for 10 gig. I'd seriously like just get rid of one of my cars and just pay like $400 a month for internet. Like, I don't even care.
You'd get rid of one of your cars?
Yeah.
Would you get rid of your automatic manual truck?
Oh, the truck would be, the truck's gone. I'd take it out and shoot it, give it to someone.
Yeah.
I mean, for money, because I need the money for the internet.
Because you're not getting rid of that STI.
No.
I kind of want to tell them how fast we went, but then I kind of don't.
I don't care. No, go ahead.
So Jerry and I were on our way to find.
Just say qualify it with it was on a closed course. Do not try.
Oh yeah, it was on a closed course by professional drivers. Do not attempt.
Yes.
So we were on our way to find breakfast, which turned out to be quite the challenge on a Monday.
Yes.
Because for some reason, every diner we went to at like 8:30 in the morning was closed.
We literally had to go two cities over.
Like 25 miles away.
You had to get breakfast. We did it though. We were damn determined.
We did it, but it didn't take that long considering that country stretch. We did 145 miles an hour with the windows down.
That's right. Oh God, with the windows down. That was pretty crazy. And didn't it like blow the cushion off the back of my seat, like into the back seat? Like I had a headrest cushion, it ripped it right off the seat, into the back window.
Your GT Omega headrest that you've been putting on your Sparco, are they Sparco seats or Recaro?
The Recaro.
Oh, the Recaro seats. Yeah. It flew off the headrest. I watched it smack into the back window. It then came back, hit me in the back of the head, and then went over the top of me and landed in my lap.
Yep.
So that's why I held on to it. I was like, I got your pillow. Nothing was going to leave the car. The positive pressure of air coming in through the windows at 145 miles per hour was insane.
It was insane. I can honestly say the only other time I've been faster than that was at the Ridge Motorsports Park. I did 146 with one window down, because you have to have the driver's side window down so you can wave people past. And the funny thing is, even though I was doing 146 miles an hour, I still got passed by two Nissan GTRs. I was like, son of a bitch.
Well, yeah, because they were only in like third gear.
I know. They were like in third gear, and they passed me like I was standing still. I swear to God, they must have been doing like 180 at the end of the mile stretch down at the bottom. I was like, oh my God.
And Jerry,
but
they're automatic.
I know they're automatic and they weigh like 5 tons. And
There's actually
they're the size of a dump truck or a small spaceship.
I don't know if it really qualifies as automatic, but yeah. All right, so I'm gonna divulge a piece of information here.
Shit.
So I listed my car for sale, actually.
Oh, seriously? All that shit talking while you're up here. Now you're gonna go and get rid of it and get a manual.
Well, I have 2 buyers lined up, and I've been telling both of them to hold off because there's 2 cars I'm interested in, and I can't decide. One, I haven't decided if I'm even going to sell the car because I'm really torn. Right? It's like
Just do it.
It's like I'll put my car for sale, and I'll buy a better one. Right?
Okay, but then the
moment someone was like, "Hey, is your car still for sale?" I was like, because you gotta understand, I had the car serviced yesterday. I took it over to the Nissan dealership. I said, I want you guys to go through the auto tranny, do a service, check the fluid levels. I want you to do the best you can to tell me if you think this tranny's been beat or because I want to do mods to the tranny, like valve body mods and torque converter and stuff, and have them tell me if they can, at least on the outside and during the service, tell me if it seems like it's been beaten. The Nissan tech himself, when I went to pick up the car, requested that the service writer tell him when I'm come back because he wanted to talk to me about the car. And I'm like, oh, great. What does that mean? He came. He came to tell me that in all the time he had worked for Fontana Nissan, which is a race shop. They actually have a race shop at Fontana Nissan, to say that he has never seen a 350Z come through in as immaculate condition as mine. And I was like, wow, is that a good thing? He's like, yeah, no, I just wanted to see, who owned the car and kind of talk to you for a little bit. So we talked about superchargers and stuff. But anyway, the bottom line is I got the service done on the car, and mechanically the car it couldn't be any better. So that's the thing I'm worried about. I'm like, shit, I've got a car that is mechanically sound, and who knows what I might get, on the flip side.
I'm actually shocked because when you got it, wasn't it like lowered with a bunch of cheap parts and it looked like it was riced out by like some idiot?
The guy who had the car before me, I don't know if he did it or the guy before him did, because he only had the car 2 years. It had that like aggressive cambered stance thing going on, which destroyed all the bushings in the car. I undid all that.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, he probably couldn't drive it very hard or fast because the damn thing wouldn't grip in a turn to save its life or go over a speed bump.
No, but what he was complimenting me on was like the stance and stuff is okay. The Megan coilovers, they're Megans, but I have actually bought KW variant coilovers. They're on the way right now, so I've got high-end coilovers for the car.
KWs are awesome.
Yeah, KW is like one of 3 of the top brands in the world.
Yep.
But anyway, he was telling me that in terms of the differential, the transmission and the engine and compression tests and all that, because I had them go through the car.
Right.
He told me, he was like, it's as fresh as the day it was bought.
Dude, that's epic. And you said it has over 100K on it, right?
110,200.
See, that's impressive for any car to get to not be burning any oil or anything at over 100K. That's impressive.
But I'm going to show you something else, and you'll see this on the stream. This is why. I am holding up a list of all of the receipts for the car. I have receipts for all the services, so I've got proof that the car was maintained. Not only from the guy before me, but what I did.
So it's got. Oh no, that's awesome. So that means
documented.
that the owner that had it was very, very meticulous about keeping those records.
Yeah, and I also have Carfax for the car. But anyway, there's 2 cars I'm looking at buying, and here's why I'm torn. I would only have to put like $3,000 with the cash I would get from my car to get both of these. One of them is a 2003, so it's a year older than mine, enthusiast car, completely done. It's track ready. It's all stock naturally aspirated, but in terms of the suspension, it's got KW variant 3s in it. Everything.
Anything done with the engine?
The engine is bone stock, and it was replaced.
Okay, good.
And it was replaced. It was replaced 15,000 ago because it had an oil consumption problem, which the VQ35DE uprev motor was known for.
I'm just saying, don't ever buy track cars like ever, because I know 2 friends that both bought a car that had the engine and transmission work done, and they both blew up within a year.
Well, this car was built for the track, but it never saw the track. So he was still in the process of getting things that he wanted to do to get it track ready. It's got power steering cooler, and it's got a 25-row oil cooler in it.
Holy shit! How much do you want for it?
14,000 negotiable.
How many miles on it?
It's got 76,000 on the odometer, but 15 on the engine.
God, that would save you so much money, trying to turn what you have into that.
Well, I have almost all of the suspension parts he has on there. But the other car, again, it's another 2003. Oh, the other car I just mentioned does have all the factory Brembos and all that stuff too.
Wait, what year is yours? Just for comparison.
2004, but it was built in September 03, so it's an 03 car.
So it's basically the same exact car, right?
It was built in the same factory. They just in the same time they just stuck a newer year on it. End of the year build.
Same panels, same everything.
The car is identical.
Okay.
The other one's a 2003, 69,000 miles on it. I have yet to see a Z this clean, both inside and out, but it's already got all of the supporting suspension mods, including the supercharger installed and this tuning documented by Stillen. Stillen did the tuning on the car. 16,000 negotiable.
You would be dumb not to get that one. Oh my God, dude. Just the headache of you having to install and tune the turbo and take it to dyno and all that shit.
Well, it's a supercharger, but yeah.
Well, yeah, sorry, supercharger. But I'm just saying that to me, it would be because you'd basically be paying $2,000 more than the other car, right? I mean, if you didn't negotiate them down.
Right.
And for $2,000, you're basically getting the supercharger installed and already tuned by Stillen.
And it was tuned by Stillen, but it's a Vortex supercharger, so it's centrifugal, not the twin screw, which is good because the twin screw heat soaks because it's mounted to the top of the engine.
The centrifugal one, is that the one that makes the crazy whine, or is that just the one that sounds?
The twin screw makes the twin screw makes the whine. The other one sounds like the turbo because it has a blow off.
So that's like the one you wanted anyways, because you said you didn't want the one that made your car sound like it was like a mechanical toy.
Right.
Dude,
and the thing is because it's a V3 stage 2, Vortec includes a lifetime warranty on the supercharger and offers you a 50,000 mile warranty on the engine it's on.
Dude, you have to do it.
That's why I'm torn.
I command you. I command you to get that car because I'll make you a deal. If you get that car, I will make an arrangement to fly down there just to hang out for a couple days and go cruising in that car in the next like 3 months.
Yeah, and it's already got like stage 3 clutch and everything in it, so.
I know. Hold that supercharger. So
yeah, because he's making 450 horse at the crank. He's making just under 400 at the wheels on the supercharged car.
Wow, really? That car loses 50 in the drivetrain, huh?
Yeah, 50 is pretty.
That seems like a lot for a rear-wheel drive drivetrain, but if it goes to STI, it'd probably be 100.
But here's the thing, and we'll get back to Tech Talk, guys. Chill out. We asked people if we wanted to do car talk each week, and more people said yes. So, to you anyway.
This is our show.
The track car, I'm gonna call it the track car because that's what it was being built for.
Yep.
Has more mods done to the chassis and to the suspension. Like for instance, it has the adjustable two-way LSD already in it. It's got the better ring and pinion in there, the beefed up axles. The drive shaft, there's no reason to change them. They're factory carbon fiber.
Well, in my experience, I find that people that people that change the aspiration of their car generally don't do it as the first mod. It's usually the last mod. You know what I mean?
That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, what have I been doing on my car? All the suspension.
Yeah, you prepare the car for it. So the fact that the thing's got the supercharger and it's properly tuned means that whoever did it definitely put in all the supporting work too. So I'm betting you're getting a solid car. I would just make damn sure that before you buy that thing, you get a compression check on it though.
That's the thing, is getting a compression check on these cars is extremely difficult because you have to tear a lot of shit away to get to the spark plugs.
Yeah, but it'd still be worth losing a couple of $100 versus buying a car that's got like a lazy cylinder in it or something.
Yeah. Fortunately, you can tell a lot about these cars having bad compression just with the way they idle.
Yeah, and you just make sure they're not puffing any blue smoke once they warm up. Usually, like if it's under boost and you don't see a blue cloud behind you, you're probably good.
See, here's what I love about my car right now, is the fact that I went up to your place. I was there a total of 5 days.
Yeah.
Right, Thursday through Monday. And was it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Yeah, 5 days. I didn't drive it the day before I went there, and I didn't drive it till the day after I got back. So I didn't drive it from Wednesday to Tuesday. I came home, I got in my car the next day, I turned it on. It turned over immediately, no smoke, idle was smooth, and it was as if I had just driven the car 10 minutes before that and it was warm. That's how good the compression and the leak down is on my car. There's no oil blow-by, the valve seals and everything are perfect. So the only thing my car is that I don't necessarily want is the auto. So that's why I'm torn. Like, well, shit, you know how fun it would also be to build a fast auto and just fuck with people?
Dude, you seriously were like crying the whole time you were up here. Every time we got in my car and I even touched the shifter, I could see like the little tear like come down your eye. Like you'd always start the conversation like this. You know what? I really love my car. It's awesome. But it wasn't an automatic, and so I could just tell it was like eating away at you. So if you have a way to sell your car now at no loss and get a manual, I think in the long run you're gonna be way happier.
Dude, I would take a huge loss. I bought the car at 10.5. I've already put $4,000 in it.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, my Gemini exhaust alone was $1,000.
Oh, I thought you were telling me when you were up here that you could probably sell the car for more than what you well, I guess more than what you paid for it, but not what you put into it.
Right, and
Oh man.
so if I get the track ready car, I'd have to just turn around and sell all the suspension parts I just got, because I just got all the titanium. I just got all the titanium control arms for the car, camber kit for the car, the KW suspension for the car. So I just dropped a lot of money last week just for those.
Okay, I can see why it's a tough decision now. Like if I just dropped that kind of money and like committed to that car, that'd be tough. Because I've thought about doing the same thing, like with my STI. I had a friend, his name's Ryan Duncan, and he's the one I was telling you about that has the 540 wheel horsepower STI. It's a stroked out Cosworth block 2.93 liter, giant ass FP green turbo, big intercooler, 3-inch intercooler piping.
Right.
Thing is, but he built it meticulously. It's a show car. He's never been super hard on it. He built it all himself. It's gone through. Well, he wanted. I think he wanted to get about 40 out of it, or so he wanted about 40, and I could sell my car at the time for about 20. So I need to sell my car and get another 20. And I just kept thinking to myself, I was like, damn it, I just did all that work to my car. I just got it all finished. I was like, it's really hard. But had I not done any of that stuff, I would have straight up just like put my car up for sale and went and bought it the next day.
But here's the thing that sucks is the lesser expensive car, the one that doesn't have the supercharger and it's bone stock, naturally aspirated, has the KWs already in it. It'd be different if I was like, oh, well, I could just pull up, whatever's in there and put in the KW. So I'd have to try and sell those on the side. So it already having it being the cheaper car kind of sucks. The one that's more expensive has teen basic coilovers in there, which are teens of Chinese knockoff companies. So I'd have to pull those out, and then
why do you have to insult me, Jay? I just put teens on my car.
No, teens according to, like, if you look at the hierarchy of coils, I guess, and that the level they're respected, I guess it depends on which ones you get, but this is the teen basic coilovers.
Gotcha.
So they're oversprung and undervalved. And so then I would have to pay more for the car and not sell the suspension, which means I'm still out more in the end. So the lesser expensive car, if I sell the suspension I've got in the mail right now, then I make back like $2,500 of the extra I have to spend.
And plus you're YouTube rich. I mean, you got to take that into consideration.
I have to make like 4 extra videos to pay for that car.
Oh, 4? Wow, you've lowered your rates.
Yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now.
Jay is your friend and an honorary brother from another mother. You have to do it.
How would you feel if you told me you have to do it? I sell my car, I buy the new one, and shit breaks.
I'll laugh.
Of course you would. You'd laugh and be like, "Listen, here's my STI running, vroom vroom on the."
No,
on the
the thing is I know you well enough to know that if you bought that car, drove it for a week or two, and then just blew the motor just complete loss, just grenaded it. Within like 2 weeks, you would have like a built motor, a bigger pulley, and the thing would be like 600 wheel horsepower.
That would probably be true if I wouldn't have used up all of my batting my eyelashes at my wife for the extra money to get the car. That makes sense?
Make it happen, Jay. I have the faith. Like your credit cards would be hurting. You'd be going into debt.
I don't have credit cards.
Change your name. No, you would have credit cards for this.
No, it's funny. All of a sudden, guys, I'm going to be uploading a video a day. Because I've got to sell 15 more ads a month.
It literally starts with Squarespace, ends with Linda. There's like a post roll.
Plus a Patreon.
Yep, halfway through the ad, there's like it says click here to win the giveaway, and there's like a little ad that like hovers around it that you'll accidentally.
No, it'd be one of those like, for only 20 cents a day you can save a starving child in Africa, but it'd be for only 50 cents a day you could save a broken VQ35DE, and it's like all in black and white, like sad music playing. Don't you want to see this car on the road again? Ugh. Man.
Jay, that is a tough decision, man. But I honestly think the only thing that would really change your mind, but unfortunately you'd have to commit to it first, would be to put that shift kit in your car, like the video you showed me where it was chirping them on the automatic.
You saw the automatic was still chirping him at third.
Yeah, in third. I think if you put that into your current car and it became really responsive even in manual mode, I think that you'd give up on the manual. I think that would finally
The only reason my car isn't chirping first second right now is because the rear differential bushing needs to be replaced. I think I told you that.
Yeah. No. That's one thing. Well, we launched my car while you were up here, didn't we? I don't think it was a few particularly times. Good. Yeah, ask Jay. STIs are durable cars. I think your exact words out of your mouth when we launched it the first time is you're like, how does shit not break? Because literally, I just revved the engine to 6,000 RPM and dumped the clutch on dry pavement. And you basically have 4 times. I mean, you can actually feel the car twist a little bit.
You can feel the car go practically off the ground.
Yeah, and it does. It smokes the tires, and then when it hooks, it's under so much boost, it just wants to rip the back off your seat. And I do that not all the time. I'd say when you were up here, I did it a lot more than I usually would. But I launch the car at least like once a week like that, and it just takes it. It completely takes it, and I absolutely love it for that. But holy crap, if you had a rear-wheel drive 400 plus horsepower car, it would make that seem slow.
Well, once we're rolling, you saw the video. You saw the videos. What happened of the guy who dumps the clutch on launch? You can't hook up. So anyway,
that's the nice thing about all-wheel drive.
Some people in chat were like, "Why don't you just do a manual swap?" You gotta understand, in this particular car, doing a manual swap is the most cost-ineffective thing I could do.
Guys, back when I had you guys, actually, I should post some pictures on Twitter. You guys would get a kick out of it. But I used to have a Toyota Corolla, 2001, with a 1ZZ FE engine in it, which is the same engine that they put in the first generation Lotus Elise too. So, haha, good engine.
Yeah.
Anyways, I decided it would be a good idea to pimp that car out, so I put a turbo in it, custom turbo kit, built the whole thing myself, and I was on a forum called TRD Forums. There was a guy on there who was doing a manual swap into his car. And I remember it had to be over like 100 or 200 pages over a year in this forum entry of like his journey to do the swap.
Right.
And I couldn't believe like anybody would commit to that. The amount of shit that he had to relocate, cut, weld, the way he put the pedals in the car, the way he had to do the shifter, the way he had to modify the column and everything so it would look factory again. I would never wish that on anybody. It's not as easy as just buying a pedal cluster, slapping it in there, and putting a new tranny in. I mean, it is a nightmarishly hard task.
I'm putting the pictures. I'm putting the picture of the track car I mentioned right now on Twitter. The one that's already got all the suspension, all the differential, all the tranny work that you could possibly do. The front bumper is a Nismo style bumper, so it's gonna be obviously subjective to people who do or don't like that.
No, I actually like Nismo stuff. I think Nismo does a really, really good job. Like, have you seen what is it, the Nismo G35 Infinity?
I didn't know Nismo made one because it's Infinity.
No, it is, but because they're basically the same car, a lot of people do the swaps of the parts. And I saw one here where I live at the Safeway parking lot once, and I pulled up and I had to do like a double take. It was like the cleanest, coolest looking thing I'd ever seen.
So the link is in Twitter to the guy's photo bucket. We're probably going to bring down his photo bucket.
somebody just posted on Twitter, "Who's ready for car talk and then tech talk with Barnacle and JayzTwoCents?"
You shut your holes.
You shut your dirty whore mouth, Brighton Lunsford. That's right. Everybody go tweet at Monkey Butt Power, and you tell him just call him his tits.
All right, I need to get this right side thing working real quick here. Let's do this here.
That's MONKEYBUTT Power. Tell him Jerry sent you.
There we go.
And tell him I used to work for Microsoft.
That's 4 times.
That's 4 times now. Oh shit!
All right. So anyway, I mean, it's a really nice looking car. With the Nismo stuff all around it. So I don't know. I'll probably just end up keeping my car because I know what's been done to mine. If that makes sense.
You might as well. I honestly think if you do that shift mod, it's gonna just like.
Well, that's why I brought it to the dealership to have them go through the transmission. I mean, I got the ester oil upgrade, or not upgrade, but I got the ester oil change when I was there because the VQ engine is notorious for burning oil. Yeah, like some guys can burn as much as a quart in 2,000 miles. So
I burn a quart in 1,500, and I've got perfect compression on my engine.
Yeah, so because I don't have a catch can in mine, it tends to put a lot of that oil back in the intake.
Yeah, for me it's the turbo. The turbo eats it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Just stick with what you got, dude.
So
I didn't realize you had $4,000 in on top of the purchase price of that car. Like, it's kind of hard to just walk away from that.
The brand new tires, the price of the powder coating on the wheels. Granted it's a head unit, but the DVD head unit in there, all of the suspension parts for it, the exhaust, the high flow cats were $1,200 by themselves. I'm more than $4,000 into it. Don't let me add this up. I'm probably more like $5,000 into it.
Well, the high flow cats you could probably swap over into the new car. Or does he already have them?
They're already in there.
Oh, okay.
Both of them are already in there. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and move on. A lot of people this week were asking me, "Hey Jay, have you seen Asus new water-cooled laptop thing?" So I figured we'd go ahead and talk about Asus GX700's water-cooled laptop.
Is this the first confirmed water-cooled laptop that's not like a homebrew kind of thing, like production water-cooled laptop?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
So it's the Asus Republic of Gamers GX700, and basically, the water cooling is not all housed inside the laptop. It's a docking station. So the laptop, So I'm showing the picture now on the stream, and I know you have the link. The
Yeah, no,
laptop,
I'm looking at it right now.
yeah. So it's got kind of like quick disconnects on the back of the laptop and on the unit that you have to, it's kind of like a double locking function to keep it from not seating all the way. And then once it docks with the station, then the pump and everything is located inside the docking station that will then push the fluid through the laptop.
That's
So
brilliant.
So I imagine what they did was Asus used a very similar method to kind of how they do their Poseidon graphics cards, where they have a heatsink and a water block on the same graphics card. So when you are not docked, then the quick disconnects close and you're just a regular water or air cooled laptop. And then once you're docked, then you're water cooled. So it's kind of neat, but I'm just wondering, obviously this is not very portable with the docking station. It requires AC power.
Well, I'm guessing that just like with the high performance laptops, basically when it's connected to the dock, I'm assuming that it's going to overclock the shit out of like the graphics and the CPU, basically.
I read the article, but I couldn't find where it said you can overclock this laptop, first of all, and it does have a 4K IPS display in it.
Because
So-
there would be no point to having a water cooled dock if the laptop was capable of cooling itself under conventional air cooling. Like
Right.
unless they're squeezing a shitload more performance out of it when it's docked, this would be completely a waste.
Well, what it's doing is keeping it from cooking itself alive. The unit itself is not really unlocking any features. It's simply controlling temperatures because the ROG laptops and the gaming laptop tends to cook itself alive. They're
Oh, sure.
stupidly
Yeah,
hot.
we had my, what was it? The Lenovo that I had that was basically like almost melting.
Yeah, but that's not a gaming laptop though. So the
No,
cooling,
but same type of difference. I mean, we pushed it beyond what it should have thermally throttled itself, and it didn't. Like,
and it didn't. It was like, go ahead, blow me up. I don't care.
Yeah, it was more than capable of putting out more performance than it could actively cool.
Yeah. So it looks to me like the main body of the laptop is very similar to the GK7 or the G751JK that I have.
Yep.
I always thought it was funny. It's like JK, just kidding. So my laptop, you felt it. It's 8.4 pounds without anything plugged into it. It
Yeah.
is stupidly heavy. So I'll be honest. I hate traveling with it. It barely fits under the seat in front of me on the airplane in my backpack.
No, I agree with you. I used to have a what was it, the Dell Inspiron laptop that had dual Radeon GPUs in it and shit, and I think it weighed 12 pounds. It was either 12 or 14 pounds. It was massive. It was a desktop replacement. It had a 17-inch screen on it.
It's crazy.
And I loved the laptop except for when I had to go to meetings at work. I'd literally have to walk between buildings with this thing, and it was too big to fit in my bag, and it would like wear my arm out carrying it. And then I was like, screw that. My next one I got was a Lenovo W7, I think it was.
Right.
Just because, yeah, it's cool for gaming when you're sitting stationary, but yeah, it's like at some point a laptop's no longer useful when it's that big and heavy. I agree.
The only thing that kind of sucks about this docking station, and the article mentioned it. The article was from Windows Central, by the way, which is kind of funny. Is that the dock doesn't offer you any docking station features that you would typically see. It doesn't have any external, display connections, so you can't do multiple displays with the laptop. It doesn't have USB connection, doesn't have Ethernet, doesn't have any of that. So it's not like you can leave all your home setup plugged into it, undock the laptop, go to school or work or whatever, come home and just dock it and be like, hey, here's my battle station. It doesn't work that way. It's just a water cooling unit, and that's it.
I don't know why they did that. That seems like a really stupid move.
Probably cost, but then again, how much is the thing going to cost? We don't.
It's already a premium product. People aren't going to buy water-cooled laptops unless they're looking for like the top of the line shit. So
Yeah.
no, you're right. I'm looking on Bing Images right now, and you're right. There's like no additional
There's not.
USB ports or nothing. Like
It's
it is
just-
literally just a big it's basically just a big pump and radiator. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's a pump and radiator, and that's it. The tubes in there and
The liquid-
its own power supply.
Yeah, the liquid quick disconnects look a little weird too. Like the tubing diameter is tiny.
Well, it'd have to be.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just I'm looking at it and I'm like thinking, I wonder if every time you disconnect it, if you have like a little drop that
Usually,
comes off it, just like you do with normal disconnects.
yeah, like with a water cooling loop. Typically, when you use a QDC, you do have a drop or two of fluid that makes it out. Because it takes time for that plunger to push up against
Right.
the O-ring, and so some fluid, usually just a couple drops at the most, come out. So over time, you have to wonder what's the capacity of this unit. Is if you don't dock it just right, is it possible to find a position where it can piss?
This
I'm
seems like a
curious.
really risky move by Asus. Like,
And they're like, no warranty expressed or implied.
Is that what they said?
No, I'm just saying I can imagine.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know that seems really really risky to me. It actually does, because we're talking about a laptop here where all the components are in incredibly tight quarters. So even if you had, and you're talking about a laptop here which is inherently going to get banged around, right? What's the one cardinal rule of water cooling systems? You want to be, handle them with kid gloves.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's kind of a scary thought that, I mean, there's literally O-rings inside this thing. Is the reservoir, I have to imagine the reservoir is refillable too. Like what happens if somebody puts coolant in there that dissolves the O-rings inside the laptop and shit? Like, it seems like an awful lot could go wrong with this thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But at the same time, I want one, just because I think being able to say you have a liquid cool laptop is pretty badass.
Yeah.
That'd be just a cool tits thing to say.
The article does say undocking is a two-step process. Push down forcefully on the button to close the back of the laptop and then lift up on the latch. It seems kind of necessary that it be difficult. Yeah, just a tad. But
you want to like bump it and just have it like piss and liquid all over your desk.
But I've had docks, not Asus docks, but when I worked in IT there, I said it one time. When I worked in IT, I worked out of a docking station and a laptop, and I had one docking station break on me where I was pushing the release button and the plastic lever inside broke, and I couldn't get my laptop undocked from the station. So I'm wondering if over time that docking station, can the QDCs wear out on there? Because QDCs, like in a desktop, you're not constantly screwing with them. They're there in the off chance you need to remove a graphics card or something. Not, let's say, dock and undock twice a day if you're transporting it to.
You know what else I noticed looking at the picture? I've got a picture up right now of showing the dock with the laptop out of it, and it looks like the plungers are recessed up into the dock. So there must be like a lever or something you have to pull on with force that basically engages that whole mechanism into the back of the laptop. And it looks like there's spikes, like steel spikes coming up the whole laptop to make sure that there is no way it can slide.
I'm showing that on the stream. I'm showing that in the stream right now. So here's the back. Here's the back of the laptop. Here, there's these two holes on the bottom of the laptop, and then the dock without anything on it. You can see right here that keeps the laptop from being able to accidentally slide out of it. So that's what that's there for. And it also looks like there's some retaining clips on the front of the dock as well.
You know where I could see this being really awesome, though, Jay, is if they had, how they always have the mobility versions of the GPUs and stuff in these things? It'd be awesome if they built a laptop that actually had a desktop equivalent, like GPU, like the Titan or something like that.
They already do.
But I'm saying, but when you plug it into the liquid cooling setup, it actually runs it at the desktop performance, like where you could never run it at that same clock in a laptop.
Well, it sounds to me like what you're describing is just somebody needed to make a software update to what already exists, because there's already discrete desktop GPU docking stations for laptops.
Oh, you're talking about like having the GPU external to the laptop, basically.
Right.
Oh, okay. No,
so it sounds like what you're saying is include the GPU in this standalone loop thing.
To be honest, it makes more sense to do it the way that you just said and just have it be external, so that when you're on the road, you don't have your super powerful graphics processor, but when you're at home docked with all your monitors and everything, you have desktop equivalent graphics. That'd be great. I could see people doing that, because now your laptop is your desktop computer. Yeah.
MSI launched one, and I think PNY? I know more than one company does now, but MSI launched one, and basically... it's a discrete GPU laptop docking station, so that you can connect it. And I believe it might be through Thunderbolt.
Have you ever watched Mr. Tybox? Do you know that guy?
I know him, but I haven't watched him.
He's the one that basically has a nerd cave like mine, except for he has 6 4K screens connected to. He's a Mac guy, so he has.
It's got it's all white, like his whole office is white.
Yep, his whole office is white. Well, he just did a video recently where he connected 6 4K panels to his Mac Pro, which previously, they didn't think possible because the Mac Pro could only have 4 displays connected to it natively. And he did it with that external box. It basically had a discrete power supply in it. It had the actual full size GPU like you'd put in your case. He said you could even put a Titan in it if you wanted to. And then he slides that into another case, and then a Thunderbolt cable goes directly to it. So you could literally run that rig from even like a MacBook Air if you wanted to.
I'm wondering how long it's going to be before we see, the Fury in a laptop. Because, you'll see it on the stream, but I'm holding the Fury Nano right here.
Yep.
This thing is so freaking small. It's like the size of my hand. And the entire and this is not like a cut down thing. It's full functioning. So the GPU on this thing is so freaking small, especially with the stacked RAM. I'm wondering how long before we see this type of performance in a laptop that's so efficient and power friendly that you wouldn't need all these crazy solutions.
I know, but the thing is no matter what technology you see in the laptop, there's always going to be a hotter, faster running version in the desktop just because of the cooling availability.
Right.
So I like the whole idea of the external graphics card, because then you just take your laptop home, you stick it in your dock, boom, you've got your keyboard, you got your mouse, you got your 3 screens, and you still have that same exact potential as if you had a standalone gaming machine.
Right.
I mean, that might actually be something that I investigate a little bit down the road. And I've seen it with Thunderbolt. I think Thunderbolt's the only transport that's fast enough to utilize it right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the MSI discrete docking station for laptops was Thunderbolt.
But Thunderbolt also is available outside of Apple too, right? Isn't it? Isn't that transport like an Intel transport?
Yeah, it's available. I've got Thunderbolt on my laptop.
See, that's cool as hell, man. Now I'm all like curious. Because I think that would be a really cool thing to build a desktop setup, like a secondary desktop setup that's all based off of a laptop, except for when it's docked, you have like full blown GPU, like even external sound card too. Even have like a really nice external DAC.
Or how about this?
Connected to it.
Or how about this? Like my ROG laptop, it's got a 980M in there.
Yep.
But what if you docked it with a discrete and now you've got SLI?
Ooh, you could actually do 2 Titans externally if you wanted to.
There's no Titans in a GPU in the laptop yet.
No, I'm saying externally through Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah.
Because if you had 2 of the external enclosures, because Thunderbolt, you can daisy chain Thunderbolt, right?
I believe so. That's kind of one of the appeals to it.
Yeah, I was almost positive because it's supposed to replace FireWire, and that's what you did with FireWire, 1394 or whatever.
Right.
So it makes sense. But how cool would that be to have 2 Titans in discrete boxes with power supplies and everything on your desk, and you just come up and plug in your dock? Which I don't know if the dock's for Thunderbolt. I think you'd still have to plug in a separate Thunderbolt cable. But still, slap it on the dock, plug in one cable, boom. You've got the equivalent of a very, very expensive desktop gaming rig.
Yeah.
This has to be done, Jay. You need to talk to people and do this video.
It all has its place. I mean, obviously there's people out there that are like, why would you want a powerful laptop like that? That's so stupid. And if I have that mindset, this is exactly how I sound. No, there's people out there that just either don't have the space or they're not static in one place enough to want to build a gaming desktop and need a laptop.
Well, no, what I like about it is the fact that, and you can attest to this too, Jay, being a video editor yourself.
Well, Jared Dreyer says lightning anus.
Lightning anus. That's good to know. Good to know, lightning anus.
Lightning
but
anus.
What I was going to say is, like, Jay, when you're traveling and stuff like that, how cool would it be to literally just reach in front of you? And I used to do this for a long time. When I was in Microsoft, okay, was that 5? I think that's 5.
That's
Anyways,
5.
So I used to have a docked, I had a dock for my Lenovo T61P, and what I liked about it was when it was docked, I had my 2 monitors on my desk, but then later on I needed more monitors than that, so that kind of went out the window. But I had my 2 monitors on my desk, and then if I had to go to a meeting, I could literally just disconnect the laptop from the dock, carry it to the meeting while it was still running, flip open the screen, and everything that I was working on down to the letter was exactly where it was supposed to be. And I love that. I love the fact that if I was editing a video and I had to go get on an airplane, I could literally just unplug my laptop, take it, and I would be exactly where I left off.
You editing a video. Like that would ever happen.
Well, hey, I did actually upload a video today. I'll publish it tonight. It's my Vlogger Fair video. And then
I was going to say, you must have done it after I looked, because I actually looked today. I wonder if Jerry's done anything, and I was sad. Like, oh, he hasn't done anything yet.
No, for you guys that don't
Am I
know,
in your Vlogger video?
Yeah, you made it. No, I got you in there. You're gonna be in that sucker. But
I'm gonna be famous.
But the thing is I just recently started coming to grips with everybody, not everybody, the assholes of the internet like to point out that I make a lot of excuses. I'm either sick or I'm too tired or I'm not doing anything. There's just too many excuses. And over the couple of days, I finally just sat down and thought to myself, I was like, life's too fucking short. I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it. And if it doesn't work out in the end, then I'm just going to go back to an IT job. I've already got some stuff on the table that I might go do. So I'm entertaining that right now. But for the time being, I'm just going to do what I want when I want, because I'm going through some tough shit right now, Just like Jay, I just lost a very dear friend of mine. As a matter of fact, it's somebody that I wish I had introduced you to while you were up here. You would have liked him. But a person that I worked with for 3 years at Mothersboard Computers when I was only 18 years old.
Do you know how many people messaged me making sure I was still alive because you said your friend Jason died?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I got so many messages.
Together, I bet you did. I bet you everybody was like, "Oh, JayzTwoCents died."
I know, right?
I'm actually gonna if you don't mind, Jay, I am gonna pimp the GoFundMe for this though.
Good.
So guys, Jason Lawhead, dear friend of mine. I've known the guy literally for almost 20 years. We work together. His parents are like my extended family. You guys may or may not read my social networks. He passed away recently. It was completely unexpected. He's been fighting cancer for a year, and he finally won. He was on his final round of chemo. The doctor said he had zero cancer in his system. He was looking good. His color was coming back. They pretty much gave him the all clear, but one night, it was only about three or 4 days ago. In the middle of the night, he woke up and they thought that he was having a seizure, and he was actually drowning in his own bile that backed up from his stomach due to a failure in one of his operations that he had. It was completely unforeseen. Nobody saw it coming. It happened fairly quickly. He passed away in about 5 minutes, and I'm still having a real rough time with it. It catches me off guard throughout the day. But anyways, long story short, the guy's like family to me. I normally don't do crowdfunding. I don't do GoFundMe's. I don't do Indiegogos, but I'm going to make one exception for his family because his wife, they literally have no money. They don't have good insurance. They're already like massively in the hole. Now she has to deal with losing her best friend and spouse. So I set up a little GoFundMe for him. I'm going to be hand delivering all the money to them that comes from it. It's actually GoFundMe.com/Jason RIP for rest in peace. So that's Jason RIP after GoFundMe.com. If you guys can spare a couple of dollars, that'd be fantastic. If you guys could just spread the message on your social networks, or if you have a similar story, please share it with me on Twitter. But it's hard to lose somebody like this. So I'm going to his memorial service this Saturday, and I really don't know what to say beyond that. But that I've been having a real hard time re-engaging.
Cancer's a bitch, dude. So when I was in high school, my favorite teacher was a science teacher. I had my freshman year. Actually, it was my biology teacher. He was battling cancer at the time. I think it was something in his kidney. I don't remember exactly what kind of cancer it was. It was so long ago. And he missed most of that school year. I had him for like the first half of the year, and then the rest of the year, and the whole next school year he was gone, battling the cancer. And he came back to school my junior year and was like, "Hey guys, I beat it. I'm in remission." And he was not only a teacher, he also owned Christmas tree farms across the state. So in Christmas time, he donated a lot of Christmas trees to like orphanages and things. He was like the most upstanding guy in terms of he had really good money because his Christmas tree farms across the state did really, really well. He taught because that was his passion. And the guy was pretty rich. In fact, when he beat cancer, he bought a Viper and he drove his Viper to school every day. And that's awesome. Yeah, and so my junior year, I made sure that when I enrolled for classes, I enrolled for his science class for my senior, sciences.
Yeah.
And then I got him again for advanced biology. I was a college prep biology. And it's like the first 6 weeks of school, everything was fine. He always had massive, like, giant water bottles with him. That's why I think it was something to do with his kidneys, because he was like, I have to drink like 2 gallons of water a day. I've got to keep things flushed. He's like, I'm happy, I'm healthy. One day we came to school and we had a substitute. We're like, what the hell? And the substitute was like, yeah, I don't know your teacher. I don't know any information. Because the students were like, where the heck is Mr. And I can't remember his freaking last name. I only knew him by his first name because that's how cool he was with the students.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were like, what the hell? It was a week later where the principal came in to let the class know that he had unfortunately passed away because his cancer had not only come back, it came back so aggressive, he died in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, see, the thing that pisses me off so bad.
He did everything the doctor said he needed to do to stay in remission, and he was only in remission for 2 years.
The thing that really pisses me off about this is Jason, I don't get to see him in person that much because we kept in contact on Facebook. We chat on Facebook almost every night. As a matter of fact, the last conversation that we had was 2 days before he passed away, talking about how his cancer was all clear now. All the tests came back. Now he just has to do the final round of chemo for cleanup, and all is well. And we were so sure that everything was cool. I actually went out and bought a brick of 7.62 ammo for us to go target shooting because it was one of the things he loved to do. So, and I've still got that brick sitting in my safe. I'm actually going to give it to his widow, Jen, because she also loved to go shooting with him and stuff too. But it pisses me off because he was in the clear. He fought this thing for a year. It started out as like stage 4 cancer, so it was like really bleak. There wasn't a lot of hope that he would make it. And then he like completely beats the cancer. Everything's good. And then what kills him is something that could have been avoided. Like
Yeah.
He literally drowned in bile that backed up from his stomach. So when he woke up, it was already spilling over into his lungs. And unfortunately, it took the paramedics too long to get there. And even though his dad was administering CPR the whole time, they couldn't get him back because
Yeah.
his lungs were completely flooded and damaged from the stomach acid and bile. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, had he been in the hospital and this happened, they could have immediately pumped his stomach. You know, they could have got a tube down his throat and drained his lungs. There, you know, it just sucks thinking that, holy shit, if he had been just a little bit closer to hospital, he'd still be here. And it was all just because his intestine collapsed or something like that in the middle of the night from the operation he had. It was completely unrelated to the cancer, other than that operation was to remove cancer.
Yeah.
But it was the operation that ultimately failed. And I'm just like, holy shit, that, like, I don't know. It's the fact that he died that way and not from the cancer that's really, really throwing me, because it just makes you scared. It makes you think that anybody at any time for any reason can just disappear. Like, you know, this could be the last time that me and you talk. You know, nobody knows, right? And the more I think about it, I mean, like, I've been staying last 2 days, I've been in bed since like noon or 1 p.m. because I literally just can't even get out of bed because I just start thinking about him when I wake up in the morning. I'm just like, you know, I've got to go face, you know, his wife on Saturday, and I'm, you know, and it scares me. That's going to be an emotional moment.
I'm going to give a piece of life advice to people watching right now. If they even care to hear it, if you don't care to hear it, then don't do what I suggest. But one of the biggest things that I learned when I went through the Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace class was not only how to get out of debt and live debt free, which I'm doing now, it's how to prepare for death, because obviously that's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
So if you guys are young enough, or even if you're not, if I have one piece of advice, carry the right kind and amount of life insurance for the love of God. Fortunately, my wife and my children are set. And if something happens to me, they are going to live like freaking queens, because I'm carrying $1.3 million on me. If something great, I'm going to be murdered now, but
I used to have $1 million in life insurance, and I don't have any right now, just because
I'm paying for it privately.
On the list.
I'm paying for it privately because I don't want to be relied on a employer to, for whatever reason, cut the coverage or whatever. So I'm paying full private insurance costs on me to carry $1.3 million on me, and I mean, you could live off the interest of $1.3 million and stay, you know, super comfortable. So when I read your blog about the story, it killed me, because it's like, man, you know, this is what life insurance is for. So unfortunately, it's a bad situation and scenario for her. But if you guys are in a position to take care of it now, that was the best advice my dad ever gave me, was get term life insurance, because he's too old and his health is poor now, so poor that he can't get life insurance.
You know what? I'm going to take your advice. I'm personally, whether you're giving it to them or me, it's something that I've put off far too long. I'm gonna actually look for a life insurance plan tomorrow, because especially with just all the shit going on in my life and everything, and the depression and the anxiety and everything. I mean, I know that shit ain't making me any healthier. So it's better for me to get a policy now. And honestly, that might actually help alleviate some of the stress that I have, you know, supporting my family, knowing that if something bad happens to me, that they'll be taken care of. I think that would be a big thing.
That's what it is for me, is knowing that when I step out that door, I mean, shit, there was someone not too long ago that was killed by just a random piece of debris on the freeway going through the windshield. It's like,
I remember that. Yeah.
Anything can freaking happen. So prepare for that. And that's the best advice I have to anyone, is to get life insurance. And obviously, I don't sell life insurance. I'm not in the life insurance business, so I couldn't be any more sincere about that.
So everybody go to Squarespace and sign up for their life insurance. But I'm just kidding.
Squarespace. Anyway, yeah. So. I wish her the best, and cancer's a piece of shit. So someone in the chat, I didn't catch their name, said Ronda Rousey should knock out or beat the shit out of cancer. Ronda Rousey needs to armbar cancer.
Is a being that Ronda Rousey can just Ronda Rousey and Chuck Norris need to like tag team cancer.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris is like 8,000 years old now, but he's still awesome. But wow, guys, there's already a whole bunch of support coming in for this from you guys. I'll shout out a couple names here.
Yeah.
Michael Hill donated, thank you. Jacob Horton, Ivo Krakic. We've got a couple anonymous donations. Trevor Dunaway, Andrew Abdelnor. That sounds about right. Thank you guys for the kind words and the donations. I'm going to make sure that all this money reaches her. The sad truth is, you know, it's a drop in the bucket compared to what she's going to need to do anything. But One thing I know is when my mom passed away also from cancer, I actually held her hand when she took her final breath. And that ultimately gave me some closure that I didn't get with Jason. And, even though he wasn't direct family, he was family to me. And it just scares the shit out of me that stuff like this can happen.
Yeah. Well,
So thank you.
I mean, we are all guaranteed to expire, and it's prepare for it is all that I can say. And it sucks in his situation because you
Yeah,
think you're
it's
clear.
like dangle a carrot and you finally get the carrot and somebody shoots you.
Well, it's
It's
like
like,
winning the lottery and dying the next day.
yeah, that's exactly what this is like. Is for an entire year he had to stay positive, and you've never seen somebody stay so positive. Like I've been through cancer struggles with people where they're in the gutters and they're depressed, and he was never like that. He always was like laughing to the bitter end. Every time he got chemo, he'd crack jokes about it. He was super positive, and I think it was that positivity that helped him beat it. And then in the end, just to have it just randomly something just kill him in the middle of the night. That just fuck, man, that is horrible. So
All right, let's do this. So there's a lot of people kind of keeping the link going in chat, so the chat's kind of taking care of that for you.
you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and spend, let's say, the next 15 minutes just taking Ask TechTalk hashtag questions.
Let's do it.
Let's liven things up a little bit.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. The best thing to take out of that, cancer fucking sucks. I'm going to add to the fact that we need honest drug companies to beat cancer, not for-profit drug companies, which is what we're full of.
No, I completely agree.
And prepare for the inevitable. And Jerry, if you want to talk about offline about life insurance stuff, I'm more than willing to talk to you about that.
No, I am going to talk to you about it. I need to talk to you about life insurance and regular insurance because I'm sick of paying $1,600 a month for the same insurance I had at Microsoft. It's like it's bleeding me dry.
Oh, and if you guys didn't know, Xander started kindergarten.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys, my little 5-year-old guy, he's actually in. He's only doing half day so far because he still has to do therapy in the morning.
But most kindergartens are half day though.
Yeah, but he's actually he's beaten his autism to the point now where he's actually like in a public school setting. It's actually it's very cool.
I saw the pictures your wife put on Facebook, and I was like, man, the kid's getting old.
Yep, we just let him go to the bathroom. Well, he's been going to the bathroom by himself, but we let him go to the bathroom by himself in a public restroom for the first time like last week. And you might be thinking that's like, that's not a big milestone. That is a huge milestone for this kid to see that he was able to go by himself into a public restroom, do his business, do everything correct, and not come out buck naked.
I love that your son at dinner initiated knock-knock jokes.
I know, isn't he funny? He tells jokes all the time now. I absolutely love it. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Jay. That actually cheered me up quite a bit.
Boo, boo-hoo. Well, you don't have to cry about it. Or the interrupting cow.
The interrupting cow, yeah. And he got it right for the first time when he was telling you he got it right, where he said moo and interrupted you. Every other time he's ever done that joke, he's got it wrong. Yeah. So Xander nailed it. All right, so we got the Block Ninja 478 on Twitter asks, have you heard about the AMD's cards running DirectX 12 better than NVIDIA's cards?
Yes.
Really? Is that is there some truth to that?
Yeah, there is some architecture inside Maxwell that's actually not giving full compatibility with DX12.
Wow.
Let me look that up real quick because I don't want to misquote this because I haven't done full research on this yet. Because I'm actually doing AMD reviews right now, which happen to work perfectly on DX12.
I am genuinely shocked by that.
Yeah, so... I don't want to go to NVIDIA's blog about it. That's not going to be...
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find all kinds of positive truths there.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Go ahead and get the next question while I look this up.
Okay, so let's see here. Callan Heck asks, build. So should I do dual graphics setup for cheap upgrade or wait to build a new system? Well, there's a first part to this question somewhere too.
Go ahead. And I haven't looked at chat, so they might already be mentioning this. NVIDIA is apparently having problem with async. And async is a big feature of DX12, where Maxwell apparently just flat out can't do it. So
interesting.
So that's why AMD is really touting right now, like our graphics cards are using, are using DX12 properly. So it's going to be interesting. 2016 is going to be an interesting year because if it's a Maxwell architecture issue, I'm not sure that can be fixed with drivers.
Yeah, no, architectural issues at best can be worked around, and usually those workarounds are pretty costly in the performance arena.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that would be weird. Well, so I guess AMD is like all raw for Windows 10
Yeah,
upgrades right
it has
now.
to do with asynchronous shading is what it is. And so it's like a type of a shader unit. And so
Weird.
yeah, so why did the internet decide Maxwell can't do asynchronous shading? This is on Reddit, by the way. So, but anyway, because the first articles posted about the conversation Overclock, so Overclock forums, Overclock.net talked about it, and of course AMD has just stepped in to be like, well, let us tell you all about it. And I wouldn't take it from AMD's mouth or Nvidia's mouth. I mean, you're gonna have to wait till guys like Tech Report and all of them, like Scott Wasson, really do independent, in-depth research on this stuff.
Right.
And that's
No,
what's
I agree.
and it's so that's all I'm going to say about it because I don't have any other information to share and I really don't want to spread misinformation on it. But yeah, all the benchmarks of DX12 on AMD beating Nvidia in terms of gains are looking to be entirely true.
You know what though? AMD needed it. So if it's true, I mean that's definitely a Hail Mary that AMD needed that I'm sure
But
Nvidia didn't mean to throw.
but I guess that's only going to help AMD for the potential new buyers who are interested in buying $650 graphics cards though. Because well, I guess not necessarily because it's actually happening on the R9 too. R9 is getting better boosts in performance than any Maxwell card across the board. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
as
it's
we
gonna be
move
interesting.
forward, those cards are going to come down in cost, and that's going to be a standard feature across the board unless Nvidia can get it together.
This is a long-term story that has to play out, and it's not
Yep.
something we can draw any conclusions right now. Except for right now, yeah, AMD does show a bigger boost in Windows 10 and DX12 than Maxwell is. Now, it's not to say that AMD is faster than Maxwell. It's just that they're seeing better percentage gain.
Right, right. Interesting. Well, go AMD. Rock on. Let's see. Okay, so back to Callan Heck. The first message was Jay need advice. Add fans to current case, his Bit Phoenix Prodigy, or get a new case, Fractal Define S. Also, my build is an APU. Should I do dual graphics setup for a cheap upgrade or just wait and build a new system?
Watch my A10 7850K video where I put a 780 in there, as well as doing dual graphics, as well as just the APU. I don't think it's cost effective to get a cheap GPU to do dual graphics with because the scaling isn't great. It's like 15 to 20% improvement at best, and you can only do dual graphics with APUs on like the R7 series graphics cards. So I still think it's better to take a full-blown GPU and stick it into an APU. So especially if it's like an A10 or an A8, you'll see very little bottlenecking compared to like an i5 or an i7, and you'll get all the benefits of it. I don't recommend dual GPU. That's just me. Do I recommend a full system upgrade? That depends if your system isn't doing what you want it to do fast enough.
So in a nutshell, get yourself a big GPU for that sucker, or just wait and do a new build.
Intel. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Intel Master Race. Yeah, Intel NVIDIA Master Race. Let's see here. We have let's see here. Tahipik? Tehepic? All right, Tahipik. Says, ask TechTalk, what headphones are you using and how much were they? Well, we'll just assume they're asking both of us. I'm using the K7XXs. These are actually AKGs.
Right, those are Mass Drop branded ones.
Yep, they're the Mass Drop branded AKGs. And the thing I really, really like, and they're not that expensive. I think they're they're about $200 pair of headphones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the open back.
Yep, the thing I like about them is AKGs are the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn. Just the way that they do their bands up here and the way that they fit on your ears with like a little pressure but still grip you good. I really like the fit on them, and that's why I use them. As the sound's decent. They're not the best sounding headphones.
Yeah.
But why I really wear them is for the comfort. When you got to wear headphones for a prolonged period of time, they are phenomenally comfortable.
And I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. I have the same headset or headphones that you do, but for me they're too light and too comfortable.
If they're too comfortable.
No, if that makes any sense. One, they're cloth ear cup on there, and I don't like the cloth. They make me itch. I've actually got the RS175 wireless hi-fi headphones from Sennheiser.
You've been using those like a lot. Like I can't even remember the last time I've seen you on a Tech Talk not wearing those.
I like not having wires draped across me while I'm trying to do the show.
Noted.
So, I mean, I do have a lot of headsets and headphones and things. I just really like these, and I like them because if I'm watching a YouTube video or I'm gaming or on VoIP or whatever, granted there's no mic on them, I like that I can just get up, go to the kitchen, whatever, and I could be and I could be like this. Hey guys, I'll be right back. I go get something to drink, and walk away from the mic, and hear all the shit they're talking about me when they think I'm AFK, because I'm still wearing the headphones. No, they're comfortable. They sound great, and honestly, I've just been too lazy to hook up new ones.
Yeah, Sennheiser actually does have a really good sound to them. I've got a lot of pairs of Sennheiser headphones of varying quality, but I can't say that any of them sound bad. They all sound really good.
These weren't actually meant. These were not PC headphones. These were intended to be hooked up to like a home theater system to give you quiet home theater enjoyment. Which when I first hooked them up, if you remember, it was right around the time the baby was born. And I haven't used them out there in the living room only because they are, to get true hi-fi in them, you need to use the optical.
Oh, okay.
And my optical is being used by the Sonos bar.
Yeah, I actually used the older HD 180s that actually got new ear cups fitted to. God, what's the name of that company? Portland Aero? Yeah, so they put new ear cups on them. I sent them to them. They put ear cups on them. They're awesome now. I mean, it actually sealed the sound a lot better on them. They're closed back. And so when my wife's sleeping, I can just crank them up, and it's like they got really good bass and everything. So yeah, wireless headphones now, I mean, I would say, 5-10 years ago, they were crap. They had a lot of distortion, but now everything's all digital, and everything's all encrypted and everything.
Can't edit with these at all because there's so much bass enhancement on these. I found that if I edited with these, I pulled so much bass out of the audio in my videos that when I played them back on speakers, it sounded super tinny and muffled.
Gotcha.
Because I was trying to tune the audio based on these, not realizing these pump a ton of extra bass in there for that cinema effect.
Yeah, that's another thing people need to realize when they buy headphones is there's headphones that are designed for, massive bass or massive treble, but then there's flat headphones, which they usually call monitors. Yeah. Yep. And monitors are what you want to use when you edit, because then the sound is exactly what you want it out of the box flat, and then people can EQ it to whatever they want.
The best way to describe a monitor is it's gonna display the audio exactly the way the camera recorded it, so it's like IPS for your ears.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, in terms of accuracy and reproduction, they're like IPS for audio.
Yeah, and sometimes things will sound like when you listen on monitors, sometimes you'll hear hisses and you'll hear distortion that you don't hear with normal headphones just because the way that they're EQ'd out, and that can mess with you a little bit when you're editing because you're like, oh man, this doesn't sound that great. But then you turn on your speakers and fire it up, and it sounds absolutely amazing. Well, it's better that you hear it.
That happened to me back in February when I was at your place editing on your second rig over there with those yellow speakers, those monitors.
Yeah,
everything sounded
Rockets.
Yeah, everything sounded so weird to me. But then when I came home and listened to it, I was like, wow, it sounds really good.
Yep, and that's exactly it. They're near field studio monitors. Like, you seriously have to have them pointing right at your head. Even if you point them straight alongside your head, they sound completely different. It's weird.
Yep.
Let's see. We take a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Ask TechTalk. Storage on the go question. Should I get an external hard drive with card reader or just a cheap laptop? My condolences, Jerry. Thank you, Ronnie. I'm trying to understand. Should I get an external hard drive with card reader? Like, do they make a external hard drive with a card reader in it, like for dumping stuff? Like, I don't know. I'm confused.
But I'm confused about the part where he says that or a laptop.
Yeah, I guess he's thinking like if he just had a laptop, I think he's trying to dump memory cards is what he's trying to do.
Maybe he meant for a laptop and not or a laptop. Can you rephrase?
Yeah, he said, okay, here's exactly what it says. Storage on the go question. Should I get an external hard drive with a card reader or just a cheap laptop? So I'm assuming he means a hard drive that has a card reader in it so he can dump his memory to his hard drive, or get a laptop so that he can just plug the memory card into that. And if that's the case, I'd say, hell, if they make an external hard drive with a card reader on it, go for it. I did not know such a thing existed.
Yeah, I'd have no answer for that. I really don't.
Sorry about that. All right, Nathaniel Olson asked Tech Talk, Win 7, 8, 8.1, or 10. Well, we'll leave 8 out of there because nobody's going to run 8. 8.1 or 10, which is your best? Which is the best in your opinion? Okay, so this is a tough question.
I can't answer that because I've never used 10.
Jay can't answer that. I have used 10. I actually have it on a VM, and I have it physically installed on my laptop and my Surface. 10 is actually pretty fast. I like what they did with the start menu. It seems like it is an upgrade from 8.1. I like it. What I don't like about it is all the privacy and spying shit that's in it. And a lot of people get after me and say, oh God, it's no more than like what they do on Android phones and stuff like that. All I would say is if you're going to install 10, make sure that you go and do some searching online and find the tools and utilities to basically block all the telemetry stuff that you don't want sent to Microsoft, and make sure that you alter the setting that basically makes your computer a torrent server for other people downloading Windows 10. As long as you take those steps and you secure your box and you go modify the host file and everything, I think it's the better operating system. I think Windows 10 is actually a huge step forward from 8. But at the same time, Windows is already backporting updates to Windows 7 and Windows 8 to actually put some of those spying features and telemetry. I call it malware, and I'm going to call it malware into the previous operating system. So for all you know, you may have already installed the updates that are allowing your Windows 8 box or your Windows 7 box to send that telemetry to Microsoft. So you might as well just update to 10 anyways. But as far as just judging the OS by itself, I find that Windows 10 is actually a lot snappier, a lot smoother, looks a lot better, and actually does have some cool features like cut and paste from console windows, virtual desktops. On my Surface Pro 2, the pen is actually a lot crisper in its use for drawing and stuff like that. So I'll definitely give Windows 10 a thumbs up in that regard. Is a big step forward from Windows 8.1. Just make sure that you go do some research on the privacy stuff so you know what's going on.
The reason why I never used Windows 10 was because from day one they had SLI profile problems. So I mean, I don't want to put it on my test. So that keeps Skunkworks out of it. I don't want to put it on my test bench because I want to keep the same, at least testing methodology on the same platform across the board. Otherwise, I would have to put a little asterisk of it. You know, all benchmarks performed from this date forward were done on a different OS.
Yeah, that's true.
GX. I might consider putting it on the laptop, though. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because I don't use that thing that much.
And just realize that Microsoft has already demonstrated that they've released several updates that have actually like blue screen and bricked boxes. They even released one update that just put the machine in a continuous blue screen loop, like you couldn't recover. You had to reinstall the box. So just note that the updates aren't getting the level of testing that they should have before they're going out to the public. And there is no way to opt out of the updates without doing a hack where you basically block Windows updates from detecting any of the updates and downloading them. So just tread carefully. Know that Windows 10, you don't have an option to install updates like you do in Windows 8. They basically get installed when Microsoft deems it necessary. And if that requires your box to reboot, so be it. So just be warned.
Sorry, I was watching a Vine of a stormtrooper falling down some stairs.
Nice. But it is the future. Ultimately, Microsoft's going to do everything in their power to force everybody up to Windows 10 by slowly dropping support for 8 and 7 and backporting all the stuff that people are complaining about with 10 to 8 and 7 so that everybody has all the more reason to move up to 10. So you might as well update to Windows 10. Just like I said, be aware of your privacy and know that a lot of the defaults that Microsoft sets on the box actually are in favor of sending information to the cloud that you may not want sent to them.
Yeah, the default settings on that are very invasive.
They're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. I still can't believe that by default they thought it was okay to just let other people download Windows 10 off your box.
Yeah.
Like when you download and install Windows 10, the default settings are you're basically a hub for other people to download from. So your bandwidth caps are all just getting blown out of the water. Now, they admitted that they were wrong about that one, but still, they
should have just renamed it Windows P2P.
Yeah, and they never even mentioned it. That's the thing is, it may have been mentioned in the EULA, but they don't. For a feature like that, anything that's sending information to a server or is allowing people to download stuff from your box, there should be a notice popping up on your screen to opt in. And Microsoft instead just opts you into everything that they want. Like they even know, like if you download an app from the App Store or start an app from the App Store, there's telemetry sent to the server saying that you opened the app when you opened it associated with your machine. I mean, that's crap I don't want sent to them. I don't want them to know when I'm opening up all the porn apps on their site. I don't want them to know that. I don't want them to know when I'm opening up, like BitTorrent and downloading the Anarchist Cookbook and like building, nuclear warheads in my garage. I don't want them to know that stuff, Jay. I really don't.
Well, the FBI's already got you tapped through all that, so don't worry about Windows.
That's true. I guess, yeah. No, you're right.
You said Anarchist Cookbook. Now my stream is tapped.
I know. We just got flagged. What was the other one? There's two of them, right?
Bomb and president in the same sentence on the phone.
Well, it's on Skype. I mean, Microsoft owns Skype, so
the police can't even trace a Skype call. So
I know that's so stupid. Yeah, I for obvious YouTuber reasons, I actually tried to get some Skype calls traced, and the police laughed at me. They were just like, "Oh, lols." That isn't even. What do you think this is? Star Trek? Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's probably about
so-
time to start wrapping this up because I got to go get a haircut.
I also want to say that yes, guys, I do have the EK Predator right here, and I am the full review of this thing is going up tomorrow. So,
Predator.
a lot of people saying, "Hey, what do you think about it?" You know what's funny, Jerry, is when I show a picture of a product that comes in here, like, "Hey, check this out." How many times I'm asked, "Are you gonna do a review on it?" I think
Well, the funny thing is, people ask me the same question, but it's like at least when they ask me, it has merit since I haven't released a video forever.
No, I think the only things I haven't actually done a review on in here was the Asus ROG panel, only because it was fairly old when I got it. Like, it wasn't a new thing. I think that might be it. Oh, by AX33 camera that I brought up to your place, but they can just watch the vlog and see the review of it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I just got a funny tweet from what is it? The PC Pimp,
Okay.
Aussie Res.
Oh, Osiris. Yeah.
Yeah. Osiris. Yeah. He says you're a terrible MS salesman. Matter of fact, I think I'll just use Linux. Good day, sir. Hashtag troll tweet.
He's only missing a top hat and a monocle.
Well, the funny thing is, it's like, yeah, okay, so I basically said that I don't like Windows 10 for all of its spying shit, but it's still a better operating system than Windows 8 is. Like, I could see how that could be like a confusing sales pitch, but it's the truth. I mean, honestly, Windows 8.1 was just a patch to Windows 8, which was already a beta operating system at best that had a lot of problems.
He wasn't trying to sell Windows, sir.
And I can't sell it anyways because it's free. Well,
right?
They actually have a really weird sales model. Like, I had somebody message me the other day. They said that they upgraded to Windows 10 from Home, so Windows 8 Home to 10, and then they said that they wanted to upgrade to Pro, and it was like $199 to upgrade to like Windows 10 Pro.
Weird.
Or something like that. Like, they wanted to charge an upgrade fee. So you do get a free upgrade to Windows 10, but if you want to cross SKUs, you still have to give them money. So I find that a little weird, but whatever, Microsoft. You guys do what you want.
Well, you got to go get a haircut. I know you got that thing coming up.
Yep, I'm gonna go get my hair did, guys.
They're gonna have to sharpen the scissors after they cut that fro.
I know, dude. This is some thick stuff going on up here.
Alrighty, guys. Well, hey, it's time to get on out of here. We actually made it through a tech talk. We had fan interaction. We had topics. We had car talk.
I know. This is a good one. Yet we still only had 1,400 live viewers because you weren't drunk and farting on my floor.
Well, and because people still don't believe that we're actually going to have tech talk when we say we're going to do tech talk. So
that's actually true. We definitely got to get back into the rhythm of
things.
And
it doesn't help that last week I was like, I'm just canceling the show if I get.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
I am uploading a video finally after 3 weeks, and then I hope to upload the PAX footage tomorrow because I really got to start getting things back on track. And Saturday is everything's off the table because I'm going to the memorial for my friend, and I'm not going to be in any shape to do anything. Plus, my family's going to be out of town for 3 days, I think, during that time. So yeah, I'm just punching out for that whole chunk of time. I might be on social networking a little bit, but I doubt I'll be doing anything with videos because, like I said, I only turn on the camera when I'm happy, and I haven't for 3 weeks. So that pretty much tells you I wasn't happy. I'm working on it.
You're gonna have to watch the playback, sir.
I know. Oh, were you messing with me, man? Were you playing music or something?
No, but I should have. Damn it! I didn't think about that.
Why you gotta be a dick, dude?
Oh man, you probably see it on the playback right now. Actually,
he's always. Oh, you're like. Oh my god! All right, guys, it's been a blast. Roll that out, okay?
Right. I forgot how to do that. Oh, I had to push that button. There it goes. It's going.
TechTalk 87, water-cooled laptop, and Apple lawsuits galore. And Jerry talked about things, and Jay talked about things. It was pretty swell. Everybody go tweet about us and stuff.
I'm a dickhole.
And goodbye. And hashtag Jay's a dickhole.